about this exercise, but if you are a woman who has had kids, or even with age, this is probably the most important ab exercise that you can do. And the best way to isolate the muscle that this works, which is your transverse abdominis, it is like a girdle for your midsection. It's one of the deeper lying muscles. It's not your six-pack. You can work your six-pack all day. That's going to give you the little rip. That's not going to flatten your stomach. Most people think crunch, crunch, crunch. It's not the case. Ladies, I'm telling you, this is the most important. I do this every other day. You're going to use a timer to time it. And what happens is when you have a kid, that muscle, it's basically a girdle. It wraps around your entire midsection. It gets stretched out. A lot of countries do binding. I wore support. Very important that I did with my first child. My second child, major difference. I wore a huge belt that most people here in the United States, if you have a cesarean section, they will give it to you. I requested one anyway, even though I had natural childbirth. And what it does is it takes the place of that transverse abdominis, that nature's girdle that holds all your abdominal contents in, and it supports your posture. Very, very important muscle. But basically, that belt took the place of the work that the transverse abdominis was doing until I could strengthen it. It was amazing when I put that belt on, how I could stand up straight. It was insane. It felt very, very comfortable. Then I started doing these exercises, or this exercise, the vacuum. The vacuum is probably the best way, actually it is the best way to isolate that muscle. What you're going to do is there's a couple different ways you can do this exercise. I prefer, some people can do it standing up, some people prefer getting on their hands and knees. I like to just lean over a table, chair, whatever you have available. And what you're going to do is you're going to inhale. And the proper way of breathing when you're inhaling, you don't lift your chest up. You're filling your stomach. So, yeah, your stomach's going to poke out. And then you're going to really blow all the air out. So it looks like this. We bend over, inhale. And you are really squeezing, sucking in that belly. Squeezing as hard as you can. This is not easy. It looks like it, but it is not. Now you can't, usually I'll hold it for 30 to 40 seconds. If you can't do it that long, then start out 15 seconds and then work your way up. You can't hold your breath for 30 seconds, of course. So once you have your stomach contracted and really sucking in and all your air is blown out, you can do a little shallow breathing, but you want to keep that stomach sucked in. Very important. Really squeeze that muscle. You'll feel it. Trust me. And it's not as easy as it looks. It's very, very hard. I'd rather be doing crunches.